Senator representing Nasarawa West Senatorial District and former governor of Nasarawa State, Abdullahi Adamu, said government owes it a duty to treat herdsmen the other citizens were being treated, the way other citizens were being treated. He spoke at a media parley with Senate Press Corps in Abuja on Monday, saying that the ulabalu about herders in Nigeria were unnecessary, given that they are also Nigerians and should be protected by governments at various levels. He lamented that herders, because of their calling, don't enjoy infrastructure like good road, electricity, pipe, borne water, and so on. Yet, their rights were being stampeded. According to him, government should make funds available to herdsmen pursuing their legitimate business the same way businessmen across the country have access to funds from the National Treasury. Who are the people? Like a who? Because this man is referring that a government should treat the herdsmen the way it treats businessmen in ONITSHA and ALABA. So is it government that gave them money, or is it government that set them up, or the government took money from the treasury and gave it to them to start doing business? I don't understand. You can imagine the kind of mindset these people have. All of them, they are the same. That is the same mindset Buhari has, and that is why it's pushing so hard to get this grazing reserves. It's pushing so hard to bring rude guys, pushing so hard to bring all manner of things because of these herdsmen. And that is why we have been talking about cow herdsmen and what have you. The same set of people. This one was a governor and now is a senator. You can imagine his mindset. You people should just stay on your own. Don't use your nonsense lifestyle to rub on others. You can imagine this one is a senator talking nonsense like this, but he cannot talk or say anything about the atrocities that these guys are committing. He cannot do that. He cannot say that. All those people that it's referring to, Malami and the rest of them, Gabashe, all of them from that, they have the same mindset. And it's very unfortunate and shame, shame to all these southern politicians. All these people will be vomiting this venom, and you are not seeing it. And people will be talking, and you'll be looking as if something is really wrong with you people. As if you are just like children who cannot even reason well at their level. I don't understand when these people are vomiting this nonsense, and you expect the masses from the southern part of the country to be looking at you, and the governors and the so-called politicians. Tinubu will be hearing this rubbish. He will still come back and be sitting on the fence, and some people will be defending him. They will say they hate him. When people like this are speaking, then why can't he speak as well? Why can't they give it back to them? And you are trying to play nonsense politics, and these guys are just saying it's crude, just the way it is. They are not even refined. But when you want to speak, you try to refine your words so that they will not pick holes. It's unfortunate. Telling us that these herdsmen should be treated like all the other businessmen, in as much they are getting funds from the National Treasury. Who gave them money? No wonder Malami was even saying nonsense, rubbish. That it's just like a spare parts dealers. Why is it that you are always talking about Igbos? All your references is always about Igbos. Then let them be on their own. And again, he said, this government has a duty like the way it's treating businessmen in ALABA, ONITSHA, Kano, and Port Harcourt to treat herdsmen too, because they are Nigerians. Are those ones killing people? Are those ones going to trespass on other people's land? Are they making life uncomfortable for the people? Are they carrying guns? Are they carrying AK-47? These provisions are public funds. They are not from the private fund of any governor or senator. The funds are from the treasury of this country, and every Nigerian has a stake in that treasury. So the government has a duty to find a wherewithal to make it possible for herdsmen not to go astray in the course of pursuing his legitimate duty. Abdullahi, who is the Senate Committee Chairman on Agriculture and Rural Development, expressed disappointment at how governors are legislating on anti-open grazing law, saying that the right to movement of herders were being inhibited. While reacting to questions on national issues, he added, when I read the meeting of southern governors and the issue of the open grazing and how they kicked against it and threatened to make law against it, I replied them in a manner that you record. I believe as governors As members of the executive operating in the different tier of government, they have a constitutional responsibility, the constitution upon which they take an oath of office. One of the fundamental rights there is every Nigeria, no exception, every Nigeria has a right to right of free of movement. Every Nigeria has a right to pursue a legitimate business. The question is that, are these people pursuing a legitimate business? They are carrying AK-47, or you want to tell us they are not aware? It is all about this. It is wickedness, because when you see the right thing, the truth, and you are covering it up and looking the other way, you must be a wicked somebody, a wicked person. You must be a wicked person. So they just woke up and say, oh, don't move. So moving around is by going to other people's farm. This man, know they are aware. Because if you continue to ask questions, because it's so annoying, if you begin to ask them that, are you not aware that they go to other people's farms? So going to other people's farms to destroy their crops is their right as well. It is the right, it's the freedom they have. It's the freedom they have. You can imagine nonsense these guys are vomiting from their mouth. You can imagine. Well, one of the fundamental rights is every Nigeria, no exception, every Nigeria has a right of free movement. Every Nigeria has a right to pursue a legitimate business. Right of association is enshrined in the constitution. You cannot, under any pretense, take away this right. I don't know under any condition which government can say, yes, we can take away this right. When they came up with this, I was wondering, first and foremost, a week earlier before the meeting the governors had here in Abuja, and there was no such announcement like that. I was taken aback when I read about their meeting in Asaba. Responding to the questions that anti-grazing law was gaining traction in the north, he said, I still stand by that. The fact that one or two governors in the north have said something like that does not take away the rights of HERDSMEN. The question here is, nature has closed vacuum. You can't build something on nothing. The duty to protect HERDSMEN and farmers rests squarely on the national government, state government, and local government administration. The question here is, has the government done what it's supposed to do to protect Nigerians who are in that calling, in that profession, and in that trade? The answer is no, and you cannot blame the person who is desperately looking for means of livelihood. However, this does not excuse somebody who is pursuing his right from doing harm to somebody's rights. I must be very clear on this. A farmer has rights to farm. If you dare carry your cattle and damage his farm crops, he has rights to make claims in the courts of law. That is the law as I understand it. So it doesn't matter if the all northern governors make the same pronouncement that the southern governors did. That doesn't shake my fundamental position on this. Government owes HERDSMEN a duty to protect their calling, and I dare repeat it. If you go to Wuse Market here, you will see how many infrastructure have been provided by the FCT and Abuja Municipal Area Council, like water, electricity. These are for Nigerians. These HERDSMEN are Nigerians. And this man also, he travels out of the country. What am I even talking about? Must you even travel out to even see what is happening? As a woman being, God has given us that knowledge. You should know what is good and what is not bad. When we say, oh, don't they move out? Must you be told that you are hungry before you know that you are hungry? Must you be told that you need to take your bath, that when you take your bath, it will refresh you? You'll be refreshed. Must you need to be told? Must somebody travel out of the country? Because when you talk about, oh, don't they go outside the country? Don't they see what is happening? You know, it is just an understatement. We are just trying to even make them feel big. Don't you have sense that these things are not good? Why must cows be roaming outside on the street? Don't we have other animals? Don't we have people who are doing the same thing, who are taking care of animals, taking care of goats? Do you just see them all over the place, just be wandering around? And some people are asking this man question, Adamu, because the Onitsha traders raped, killed your mother and your entire village to rent shop, Abi, how did this man became governor and senator? Nigeria is really in trouble. My friend, this place Igbos found themselves are in real trouble. Look at the comparison of a man who has been a governor and a serving senator. What will the outside world be saying when they read or hear comments from this who they have presumed to be a leader in Nigeria? Are you surprised? Does the look on his face promise anything like sound judgments. I'm not surprised at all. Good assertion, but the use of useless to address southern people is what I desist about. You mind your grammatical whatever. Well, please tell us how much you gave to businessmen in your state during your tenure as governor or even now as a senator. Please do also tell the world how much tax that government ever collected from them. Do they pay tax? Please stop all this your hypocrisy. Every businessman buy land, pay tax and some other things for their business. I want you to note that no one is inferior to the other. What you see in Onitsha, Alaba were people's efforts. Exactly. So guys, let's hear your opinion, because this is really annoying, very, very irritating words coming out from this former governor and the now senator. So unfortunate.